3:50 non-stop to Mars. We'll be departing Shuttle Bay 47E in T-minus 5 minutes.
Alright, listen to me very carefully. This is your spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Total Recall yet, you need to get your ass to the nearest screen and watch it. So get moving, and remember, what's coming will blow your mind.
This is Diabolical, the comedy podcast where four long-suffering friends dissect film's most dastardly schemes, then try to improve them. I'm your host Ben, and this week we're getting our asses to Mars with the 1990 sci-fi classic Total Recall. So squeeze that enormous flashing tracker beacon through your nostril and let's get diabolical. Welcome to the show, where reality is never what it seems. Joining me are three horribly mutated rebels ready to overthrow the Martian regime. Introduce yourselves and tell us, if you could have any memory implanted, what would it be? Super Dude, please kick us off.
Hey pals, it's Craig here, the one they call Super Dude. And if I could have any memory implanted, it would be Colin Farrell's lost memory of filming Miami Vice. He can't remember doing it, but I feel like if I could remember doing it, I'd have something over him. And he'd be like, do I want to know? It would plague him. He wouldn't know what to do about it. And eventually I'd tell him. I'd just be like, okay, I'll tell you what happened. And I'd share the memory that he lost with him.
Would you write a tell-all memoir?
No, it'd only be for him.
Okay.
Only be for him to know.
It's very specific. Adam.
Greetings, everybody. Adam here. I would like to have the memory implanted of waking up in a single room log cabin, high up in a forested mountain, swimming in a cold stream, and doing absolutely nothing for days on end.
That's quite achievable.
Just go to Centre Parks.
No, it's not Centre Parks. There's too many people there.
Isn't this stream quite shallow?
Yeah, pretty shallow.
Yeah, but that'd be fine. No chance of drowning.
I'd love to see that, though. You're just trying to swim, just going nowhere.
Just your lower back and your calves submerged. Everything else is on the land.
And then just pushing myself along off the rocks off the bottom.
All right, Gaz.
Hello, Peril Pals. Gaz here. And the memory that I would like implanted in my brain is being in the crowd for Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi from Ring of Honor in 2005. Wow, just fucking incredible. The crowd of about 300 rabid fans. Oh my God, it's just something else. Something else. That's the one wrestling match I would have loved to have been there live for. And maybe I could with a company like Rekall.
Yeah.
Right. I wasn't expecting that. I can't tell you.
You thought we were all going to say the memory of sleeping with Sharon Stone.
Oh. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing anyway. Here's mine. It's a little bit long and a little bit soppy, so do bear with me. As I only learned to play the bass guitar after my brother died, I never got to play alongside him. So I would want the memory of playing a huge gig together with all our family and friends in the crowd. There would also be scores of muscular men and beautiful women loving it so much that they've flung their tops off and they're not in the least bit concerned about finding it. Super Dude would be dressed as a rabbit, grinding on loads of hunks, while Turner moshes like a maniac, even to the slow songs. And the only time he'd stop is to scoop handfuls of hummus from his pockets into his mouth. Meanwhile, Gaz would be running security dressed in a long leather duster and knee-high boots decorated with flames. And no one would dare say boo to him. Then, after the show, you three would come backstage and you'd tell me it was the best gig you've ever been to and that I'm the most talented person you've ever met. And then you'd also beg forgiveness for the disrespectful and irregular voting patterns over the years, which then I'd begrudgingly accept and we'd all get on with our lives.
So a work of pure fantasy then.
Yeah. You know, if you're going to get implanted, you may as well get something that's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's why I went with mine as well. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Centre Parks, man. Go Centre Parks.
No, I've been to Centre Parks. It's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's horrible. There's too many people around.
I think we need to get onto the Centre Parks comms team and get some sponsorship because we've mentioned them quite a lot.
Yeah, this is like, the 8th or 9th time that we've mentioned it, yeah.
Or alternatively, if one of our listeners has a log cabin in the middle of the woods, please do get in touch.
Well, later we'll compete to see who could come up with the most fiendish scheme to earn peril points for the Season 6 leaderboard. But first, let's dive into this week's mind-bending movie. Total Recall, directed by Paul Verhoeven and starring the irrepressible Arnold Schwarzenegger, blasted into theatres in June 1990. Set in a dystopian future where memory implants create indistinguishable real experiences, the film follows construction worker Douglas Quaid as his fascination with Mars leads him to undergo a memory implant procedure that supposedly gives him the life of a secret agent. However, the procedure goes wrong, plunging him into a deadly conspiracy that blurs the line between reality and fantasy, forcing him to question his own identity and fight for his life. Despite the movie's now iconic status, not everyone was convinced upon its release. Critics were polarised, but it went on to gross $261 million worldwide and quickly became a cult classic for its ambitious storytelling and Oscar-winning visual effects. It's a film chock full of moments that were indelibly stamped into my supple teenage psyche. One in particular. Am I right, boys?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's the real dream, isn't it?
Yeah, Michael Ironside. We love him.
I'd like the memory of honking a third hooter.
Pulling it, stretching it out. Like an elastic band, flinging it back.
And they have remained in my brain ever since. But what did the panel make of it? Adam, did this movie blow your mind? Or was it just a bad trip?
Oh, of course it blew my mind. Again, it's like we've done Beetlejuice, and this was also a heavily watched film over and over and over again. It was one of the most futuristic films, I think, of our youth, I think, and it remained so for quite a long time as well. It still is, really.
Yeah, we're still not caught up with them, are we? Still not there.
No, still not there. However,
Are we not on Mars yet?
I think even a couple of years after that film was released, the vehicle design had gone way beyond what they have. Everything seems like rickshaws just with crappy chassis put on top of it.
Yeah, but now it's devolving. You've got the Cybertruck now, so it's only a matter of time before we get the Johnny cab.
Yeah, I guess. But no, it's one of Schwarzenegger's best. It's got a great cast, got some horrible bad guys, some really memorable moments, which we'll get into, I'm sure. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favourite films from when I was a young upstart. Very, very fond memories, and loved watching it again this time. Great.
Glad to hear it. How about you, Gareth?
Yeah, very similar from when I was a young upstart, and now I'm an old down finish.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is the opposite, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, rewatching it now. Score's banging. Oh, that opening theme over the creds.
Yeah.
Slightly too long, if I'm being critical. Those opening credits. It feels like about 5 minutes.
A lot of people worked on that film. You don't be...
When you've got to show the name Schwarzenegger, you've got to leave that on screen.
Never sit on a marquee, love.
Yeah, from the opening with that theme, it's just corking. Just the machinations of the plot. It's quite fun trying to describe it. Dylan, my son, came down probably about an hour into it, and he must have presumably liked the look of what was on screen. He said, "So what's it about then?" And I explained it to him. He's a guy who works on a building site, but he wants to get a memory implanted of being on Mars. But then before it gets implanted, turns out he actually was on Mars and he's a spy. But then that's not true either. And he just looked at me turns around and walks out.
There's a bit of blood trickling from his nose.
And it keeps on twisting like that right up until the end, doesn't it? With
Yeah.
the double, triple, quadruple agency of Arnold's character.
It's a great twist.
Yeah.
And then when you get the sun causing the whiteout at the end, and then it says the end, and then there's a question mark, and then it says the living end.
How to cook the living end. Yeah, some great 1980s character actors in there as well. Michael Ironside, of course, he's great. He's genuinely hateful in these bad guy roles, but also he's good when he plays the odd good guy as well. But in this film, as Richter, he's genuinely good with his sneers and his thinning hairline. Who else? I don't know the character's name, but the guy who plays Cohaagen, who is also in
Ronny Cox.
Ronny Cox, that's it, yeah.
Ronny Cox.
He's brilliant. Yeah,
From
brilliant.
RoboCop. He
And
gives
Beverly
good
Hills
background,
Cop.
doesn't he? Yes.
Loves all the movies that end with cop.
Indeed. Indeed.
I heard he actually tried to get Cop added on the end of Total Recall, but Verhoeven wasn't having it.
Yeah, Total Recop, he wanted to go. Well, that Total Recop, he kept stop pitching Total Recop.
There's Couple Recall, it was called.
Tocop, Recop. Yeah, it's kind of one of the few science fiction films that I genuinely enjoy. It's, I guess it's kind of a strange mix of kind of Arnold's slightly over the top, slightly cheesy style with Verhoeven's own over the top cheesy style with kind of crazy plot machinations that I presume came from Philip K. Dick's original novel or novella, which
Yeah, read it, folks. It's really short.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of that. That was all created.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, it's all implied. It's not fleshed out, but he does go for the secret agent package, and they tell him they can't fit it in. There's no room in his brain because he was a secret agent on Mars. And then later on, after they've sort of chased him down, they corner him in his apartment, and his wife leaves him because she thinks that he's just crazy. And then they say to him, we just want to take you in. If you give up, we'll allow you to have like whatever memory you want implanted. So he says, well, it'll have to be something important because otherwise I'm going to yearn for this spy adventure again. They agree to study his brain and figure out what his deepest desire is. And his deepest desire is to have a memory of being a child and meeting alien invaders who are bent on the conquest of Earth, but they're small and cute. So if he treats them with kindness, they agree to not destroy the Earth while he's alive because they're the one human. He's the one human that is decent. And they try and give him that memory, and he's already got that memory as well. It's right.
You're the
Twilight
one
Zone
good one.
ending.
You're the one
Yeah.
good one.
So then they're like, oh, we better not kill him then because it's true. So once he dies, the Earth's fucked.
Ronald Schwarzenegger and Dan O'Bannon,
Dan O'Bannon,
they were the ones
yeah.
that actually
Yeah.
hammered out this story.
Beautiful.
Of Alien fame, of course.
Well, yeah, they bought the rights to this in like 1974, before Alien, but basically studios said it was unfilmable. And so they moved on to a project that they like to call Alien.
I like to call it Alien sometimes. Only when I'm feeling fruity.
Brought Jerry Goldsmith with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in conclusion, yes, I like Total Recall. It's good.
Where do you think it stands, in Schwarzenegger's catalogue in terms of action?
I'd say it's top five. Top five, along with the first two Terminators, Predator, and for me, number 5, along with Total Recall, is The Running Man.
Nice.
Controversial.
I love The Running Man.
Running Man's great, yeah.
It's got some great one-liners in it.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, it's probably his most heavy one-liner film, isn't it, I would say?
I think all of his lines are one-liners.
Yeah.
There are no conversations.
No,
Yeah.
I want to 2 lines in a row, 1 line only.
Right, Super Dude, what are your thoughts?
Can I say something controversial?
Oh, go on then.
I don't think it's hyperbole to say this is one of the best uses of celluloid of all time.
Wow.
It's perfect. It's one of the best high concept sci-fi movies and action movies. It's funny, it's fun, It's bonkers. It's so well made. I mean, it holds up so well. Even though if you scrutinize it, you can see with the special effects, like the mask reveal, the woman's head coming off and his underneath. It looks slightly off, but
There's a little jump, isn't there? Yeah, but it's not bad.
it's so well done.
Yeah.
The robot head where he pulls the bug out of his skull.
It looks amazing.
It looks
so good.
I loved it when it came out, and I still love it. I think it's so good. And I agree. I would, in fact, I think that's pretty much the same top 5 Arnie that I would have as well.
I would put Conan in there, would be my different one. I love that.
Conan's great, yeah. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because he's made so many great, iconic movies. But yeah, this is one of the best. And great teaming of him and Verhoeven. Great, as you say, score. You know, Jerry Goldsmith started on stuff like Twilight Zone, done some great sci-fi stuff like Capricorn 1 I watched recently. Outland, the movie name I keep forgetting, the Sean Connery one.
Yes.
Did the Next Generation theme, Turner.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
Just one of the great sci-fi movie music composers. So many great concepts in it as well, like the wall that turns into the TV, but also turns into like scenery.
Yeah.
The video phone, which obviously we have now. Slightly less exciting, but still nonetheless very well executed.
Yeah.
I remember TV and movies trying to do video phone a lot, and it was never convincing, but it really is in this.
Well, it's the way they use it, isn't it? It's really integrated. It's not kind of called out, especially.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. And they just perform it really well, like they're really there.
Yeah.
I think that helps. Johnny Cab voiced by
Robert Picardo.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really cool. Mentioned the brilliant effect of the woman's head coming off in the is it an airport? I guess it's an airport.
Spaceport.
Shuttleport, yeah. But also you've got that brilliant X-ray scene, which doesn't hold up quite so well, but still really cool and effective, where he smashes you.
Well, apparently that was supposed to be CG, but they couldn't get it working, so it was in the end it was hand animated.
It's great. I think it still looks really good.
No, it is great, yeah, but it's not quite convincing, but it's great. And loads of great performances. I think Sharon Stone, you got to highlight as well. She does a great job and really clearly made an impact on Len Wiseman, because in his version, although it is his wife in that role, that character gets a much bigger role, takes Richter's role in there as well.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah, I've never seen it. I've been too afraid because I like the original so much.
I like it. I think it's all right. I left the original at the door when I watched that, and I just and I thought it was good.
Well, you're a bigger man than me.
I knew it wasn't going to be as good as Arnie. I knew straight away. Well, so I was like, let's just put that over there and let's just...
Tough shoes to fill.
It's good. Jessica Biel and Kate Beckinsale are fabulous, obviously.
The sets are really cool. They're quite cyberpunk. Yeah. It's got some good world building in it, but yeah.
I kind of like Colin Farrell's a bit more like a secret agent in it, isn't he? He's a bit more...
Irish.
I'm going to be getting my ass to Mars, so I am. See you later.
Fucking hell, what am I doing in Mars?
But even like little touches, like the woman who digitally alters the colour of her fingernails, that's really cool.
That's brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's the little touches that I think they do so well that bring this world to life.
But that's Verhoeven anyway. That's what he does. He puts all this amazing futuristic stuff and just goes, what will he be able to do? And he just chucks it in as like the background stuff, doesn't he, really? Yeah. It's great. He's brilliant. I love Verhoeven.
I love that it's not afraid to be silly. You know, it lets Quaid put on that impeccable towel turban when he's got the wet towel on his head.
Yeah, it's great.
It's amazing.
It's like when a character in like a Hot Shots type movie throws their hair up and it's just perfect, you know?
Yeah. What did you think of the opening, like the first couple of scenes where we're on Mars?
Yeah, it's so well realised.
Well, I think it is, but Izzy was in the room at the time and she kind of looked at me, this sideways look, and Becky went, I don't think she is convinced by being on Mars. And I was like, I think it looks really good. And Izzy was just like shaking her head at me.
It's those bulging eyeballs are one of the things that have stayed in my mind.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's indisputably great.
Yeah.
And the tongue like coming out slightly too far.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what Mars looks like. That's what the Martian surface looks like. Don't really know how you could top that.
Well, they did use imagery from NASA to kind of make it look as much
They
like
did
that as
shoot
possible.
on the surface of Mars. That's incredible.
No, they use it as a guide.
Other really funny stuff in this. I don't want to cut into favourite scenes, so if this is somebody's cut this bit out, but just the number of bullets the human shield takes on the escalator. It's a fucking insane amount of squibs going off there. So funny.
Similar to Ed 209 shooting that guy in the boardroom, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Turning into fucking vapor, basically.
Yeah.
Somebody get a medic!
Yeah.
He's fucking been shot about 30 times.
And just really great storytelling. One of my favourite bits of storytelling in it. And again, if this is someone's favourite scene somehow.
Why are you just listing all the highlights?
Yeah,
Because,
you're just ruining everything.
You haven't done
It's not-
Jeopardy
Anything
yet.
your favourite sequence? No.
It might not be
anymore.
one, but
Well, we'll do a roundup later.
when he's talking to the
And
What's
guy,
going on?
He's still doing it. He's still talking.
He's unstoppable. He's a juggernaut. Right, well, before I ask you for your highlights and favourite lines, we're going to play a little quiz I'm calling Jotal Jeopardy Corley. As always, I have several categories for you containing questions related to this week's movie. You'll each get a chance to pick a category and answer a question thereupon. The categories are That's Sick, Dirty Casting, You Argumentative Crone, and All Play. Gaz, pick a category.
That's sick, please.
All right. During the production of Total Recall, which took place almost entirely in Mexico, many cast and crew members suffered from food poisoning. However, Arnold Schwarzenegger was one of the few who remained unaffected. What precaution did he take to avoid getting sick?
Only eating imported Bavarian sausage and
Ooh.
drinking the finest Austrian lager beers,
Ooh.
perhaps.
You're very close. He had all of his food shipped in from the United States. Because while filming Predator, he had got sick. You know, that was also filmed in Mexico, and he and the cast had got sick. So he'd learned his lesson, so he had all of his food shipped in.
Really wise.
Paul Verhoeven wasn't so fortunate.
he wasn't.
He was so sick by the end of filming that he had an ambulance on standby on the set.
What? From what? For what? Why was he so sick? From eating
Food
Mexican
poisoning.
food?
It was. It must have been the water used to cook the food, I'm
Quesadillas.
guessing. But they were all getting sick
Quesadillas.
from the catering.
I think Nick the Semelian mentioned that in The Last Action Heroes, the thing about him bringing in his own food.
Yeah.
Well, since you're on the mic, super dude, pick a category.
I'll have That's Sick.
Yeah, that one's been taken.
I'll get it right, though.
That's a good strategy.
I'll have Dirty Casting.
All right. Before Arnold Schwarzenegger took on the iconic role of Quaid in Total Recall, which actor was originally cast?
It was Patrick Swayze.
It was indeed. Patrick Swayze as Quaid. Can you imagine that?
I thought you were going to say Dennis Quaid.
That would have been ideal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was going to do a song, She's Like the Lack of Wind, about the air shortage on Mars. But sadly, we never got to hear it.
Yeah, apparently it was when... So Ronald Schwarzenegger had sold or pitched this to the De Laurentiis Entertainment Group.
Fucking mad Dino.
Oh, Dino.
It was all go. They cast Patrick Swayze, but then the De Laurentiis Entertainment Group went into bankruptcy and they destroyed the sets. The crew were dismissed.
What?
And Schwarzenegger had asked De Laurentiis if he could be in Total Recall before Swayze was cast, but De Laurentiis didn't think he was right for the role. So once they went bankrupt, Schwarzenegger swooped in, convinced Carloco Pictures to buy the rights so he could star in it.
He's such an arsehole, Dino De Laurentiis. He's such a dick.
All right, Adam.
I should pick the other one the other two didn't pick.
You argumentative crone.
Well, needn't be like that.
Which director initially took on Total Recall, attempting to reshape the script before leaving due to creative differences?
Michael Mann.
It was actually And the clue is in the title, David Cronenberg.
Oh, yeah, I did know.
Cronenberg. Fuck. Oh, can you imagine how that would have turned out?
Yeah, he wrote 12 drafts to address third act problems. Disagreements between Cronenberg and Shusett over the film's direction led to Cronenberg leaving. Apparently, Ronald Shusett wanted something closer to Raiders of the Lost Ark, whereas Cronenberg wanted some serious, dark sci-fi shit.
But it would be interesting to see what he'd written. Wouldn't mind seeing those drafts.
Yeah, can you imagine a David Cronenberg Total Recall world?
That'd be very interesting. Yeah. It'd be very interesting. I'm sure it would have gone a completely different route.
They kept him having a woman with 3 tits. That'd be Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he would have had a woman with 6 tits. 3 tits isn't enough.
Double it, add a 0.
Benny's arm. That's very Cronenberg-y.
Yeah.
Like a brundlefly arm.
All right, well, let's go into the all play. How many puppeteers were required to control Kuato, one of the most memorable characters created for Total Recall?
2, probably.
We got 2. Got any more than 2? Got 2.
7.
7.
Wasn't it actually massive and it's like filmed to make it look small? Like they obviously had a normal size one.
It's shot from a couple of different angles as well, isn't it? There's a couple of Dutch angles there as well, isn't there?
Maybe there's a version of it that's really big so they could have it do more facial expressions and stuff.
I'm going to say 79.
Ooh, it's a lot of puppeteers. All right, well, the actual answer is 15.
Ooh.
Crikey.
Wow.
Yeah, it was quite a detailed animatronic head. And Marshall Bell, the actor, wore a full bodysuit. And then, you had that little creepy animatronic head in the middle. But 15 puppeteers.
And there were 15 puppeteers inside that bodysuit. That's crazy.
I think they were around it. And some were using the
Yeah,
remote control
probably
to
remote
do different
control.
parts of the face at different times. It was all coordinated.
I still think it looked really good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It looked amazing.
When he actually meets him for the first time and he's probably talking to him, I was like, it's actually still really, really good.
You were like, is this actually an actor? I think this might be.
Who was that baby who went on to save Spring Break?
I thought that was an early Haley Joel Osment role.
Very early.
Have you seen him doing JD Vance?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to our favourite moments. Super Dude, since you had such a hard on earlier, why don't you kick us off?
I think that I'm going to have to go with the scene when they're trying to go over his memories again on Mars, and he pulls the arm of the chair out and uses it to stab a guy in the neck.
Oh, yes, nasty.
Yes.
And then he takes other bits of the chair out to kill the other guys that try and come after him.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
these improvised weapons and pieces of chair. All the while, Melina is threatened by her brain being zapped, and he's not sure if he's got to her in time. And she does that little playful bit with him at the end, like before she reveals that she's fine. Yeah, that scene is a corker.
Yeah, it's brutal. Adam, what was your favourite moment from the film?
Oh, it's between 2 things, but I'm going to go for the one I always get the most satisfaction out of, and it's the Specky baddie when he's in the bar and he gets shanked by the little prostitute, and he just goes, "Ah!"
Thumbelina.
Thumbelina.
Yeah, and I always love that bit because he's such an arsehole for ages.
Yeah, he's asking for it, wasn't he? He's not even nice to Michael Ironside.
No, he's not. He's a dick.
Teasing him about Sharon Stone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. So I always love that. Yeah, I love that bit.
Peril Pals, we can call people Specky because 3 of us wear glasses, and one of those 3 is Adam.
Yeah, I'm as specky as they come.
And Ben doesn't wear glasses, but he does have 4 eyes.
Ah.
I do. And Gareth.
I'm going to go for a moment that's already been referenced, and it's when Arnold pulls the bug through his nose.
It's incredible.
I'd been hyping it up to my wife, who was sat on the sofa next to me, not really watching the film, doing some nice crocheting. And I was like, Becky, watch this bit. Watch this bit. You can't see this bit. Watch it. And she was just like, no, I don't want to see it. I was like, he's going to pull a massive thing out through his nose. Come on, watch it. She was like, well, I definitely don't want to watch it now. And then she didn't watch it. But I really enjoyed it.
Wait, Becky's the same age as us. How has she
Yeah.
grown up not seeing Total Recall?
Oh.
Don't know. She's seen most of Arnold's oeuvre. I would say, but not Total Recall.
Wow. That's got to be rare.
I'd say so.
One moment that I really enjoyed, obviously there's all the classic moments, but one that really stuck out to me this time and made me chuckle was quite early on in the film where Quaid is confronted by his work buddy. Is it Harry?
Yeah, Harry. Yeah.
And then Harry realizes he's gone to Rekall and he's trying to do Quaid in. Quaid ends up beating up the thugs. And the way he runs off is quite mincing. Runs with his hands out. I was howling. I've replayed it a few times.
What I love about that scene is the framing of the aftermath of it. The guys are all Sparko on the floor and Arnold's kind of standing over them in just a great pose. It's just fantastic. It really made me sit up and go, wow, that's really great. Beautifully framed shot.
That whole area is quite an interesting area where they shot.
It is, yeah.
I think that was actually in Mexico City train station. They filmed quite a bit of that.
Cool architecture.
Yeah. Right, well, Adam, what was your favourite line?
My favourite line was my first note in it. It's not even said for like another hour and a half when I made that. It's like, see you at the party, Richter.
Excellent. Gaz, what was your favourite line?
It's just a classic Arnold delivery when they think he's having a schizoid embolism at Rekall and he's just screaming, "You're blowing my cover! You're blowing my cover!"
Excellent. And super dude.
There's so many great ones, but I'll have to go for the one where Quaid and Melina are utilising the hologram projector to fool the goons. And there's one moment where he's not using the projector, but he tricks them to think that he is. He says, ha ha ha, you think this is the real Quaid? It is. And then he just blows him away. Great.
That's so good. I mean, there are so many great lines.
Yeah.
One that made me chuckle again, I'll go for. And it was when Richter is tracking Quaid still on Earth. I think at the same time, we see Quaid pull out the tracker and he's got the wrap on his head, so it's hard to find him. But then Richter's right-hand man says, "We've picked up an explosion at the old cement factory."
Yeah.
Just the old cement factory. Everyone knows where the old cement factory is.
If you want Calculon to speed to the old cement factory, press 1.
So that's whatever city they're in, presumably only has one cement factory that's old.
Yeah. There's a really funny, stupid line where Benny is in the drill chasing down Quaid and Melina.
Yeah.
And he says, "I'm going to drill you, sucker."
Yeah.
The follow-up to that from Quaid is, "Screw you!"
Yeah, screw you.
As he drills him to bits.
Yeah, do you think that was meant to be like a screwdriver pun? I don't
know.
That's a drill, Arnie.
They're all workman's tools.
Yeah.
Well, since it's been a while, and this is our 114th episode?
Something like that.
I thought now would be an excellent time to introduce a new section that I'm calling That's All Rewrite That.
Oh.
So I've rewritten some iconic lines from the film.
Mm-hmm.
All you've got to do is tell me if you think they work better than the original. You can use either approving mumbles or dissenting grumbles. You ready? Get your anus to Mars. Consider our marriage terminated.
Rabble.
The original there is obviously consider that a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, last one.
Oh, God.
Thank God.
Baby, you make me wish I had a more effective breaststroke.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the
we'll
one
give you
Roger
that one.
Moore would have delivered.
The Martian colonies are under the iron grip of Villainous Cohaagen, the authoritarian governor who controls the very air the colonists breathe. Cohaagen's plan is as simple as it is sinister. maintain dominance over Mars by monopolizing the oxygen supply. This not only ensures his political power, but also suppresses a burgeoning rebellion among the mutant population. With the stakes sky high, Cohaagen employs deception, memory manipulation, and brute force to keep the rebels from uncovering an ancient device with the power to create a breathable atmosphere on the Red Planet, which would certainly put an end to his oppressive regime. Adam, what did you think of Cohaagen's scheme?
He's too sentimental, isn't he? It could have all been dealt with if he hadn't been so sentimental.
About his friendship with Hauser, you mean?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's the ultimate undoing, isn't it? For some reason, that's the only sort of human side he shows is towards his old shitbag friend.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's odd, isn't it? Odd sentimentality from such a ruthless villain.
Yeah, it's horrible. But it's the only bit you see when he's hugging him, or he comes in, doesn't he, at the end of the video when Hauser's telling Quaid, oh, it's all a ruse and you're me, but you're the deep cover me to infiltrate the rebellion and da-da-da-da-da. That's it.
Well, maybe he doesn't have many friends and he values the one that he does have.
Yeah, he clearly doesn't like Richter, does he?
No.
How many times has he almost killed Quaid? Probably 3 or 4 times, really, at least. And if he'd been given carte blanche from the start, maybe, and loads of resources to help him, he could have probably done it. Or he could have done it himself because he was the one that helped him out, wasn't it? With all the different setup of people and stuff, he could have easily done it. But nope, he wanted his old mate back. But whereas he should have just been as ruthless with Hauser as he was with everybody else.
Yeah. Super Dude, what do you think? Is Adam onto something there, or do you think he's talking nonsense?
Talking absolute rubbish. There's a reason that he wanted Hauser alive, or Quaid alive. And to call his plan simple, I think is wild. His plan is ridiculously circuitous. And it hinges on a lot of things just happening to go right. Like he says, even he's amazed at his ridiculous plan of replacing Hauser's memories and personality with Quaid and then not telling Richter about it. Even he's amazed that it works. It shouldn't work. The fact that Quaid isn't killed on his way to Mars or on Mars is frankly a miracle, even though Cohaagen is quote unquote helping him with these little bits that he and Hauser have planned. It's a bonkers plan. Seems like there's almost no way it could work. And the other thing is, when he infiltrates because he's already met Melina, why doesn't he stay on Mars and infiltrate the fucking rebellion then? Why does he go to Earth? Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that is a bit odd, actually, now you mention it. Kaz, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like the infiltration part. That seems quite a smart way to go to me, wink wink. But yeah, the constant not knowing which way the character stands, and I don't know, it is too complicated, like Super Dude said. There's numerous ways to simplify this plan, which I'm sure we're all going to do a pretty good job of simplifying it. Yeah, no, it's kind of a good foundation for a plan, but then it's built on sand, like in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's built with castle on sand.
Yeah, it's built on the shifting surface of Mars with its red sand that you can barely walk on without slipping, apparently.
And falling down a big hill, smashing your helmet.
Well, I'd have to agree. I do think sentimentality was a big weakness in addition to the complicated plan, which is why Cohaagen gets 6 florets of irradiated Martian broccoli.
Mm.
I like the top of it, if you can imagine such a thing, is kind of bulging.
Even more than usual.
I thought you'd say red Martian broccoli.
Oh, never be red. If you're digging this trip through false memories and Martian mysteries, we'd love for you to navigate to your preferred podcast platform and leave us a stellar review. Your feedback helps stabilise our oxygen levels and keeps this colony thriving. So suit up and shoot us some 5-star reviews, you saucy rebels. Now it's time for the final showdown, where we compete to see who can come up with the best alternative plan to earn precious peril points for the Diabolical leaderboard. In Total Recall, Villainous Cohaagen maintains his iron grip on the colonies by controlling the oxygen supply, using deception and brute force to suppress a rebellion and ensure his dominance. But he is ultimately foiled by our buff hero Quaid, so let's see if we can do any better. Gaz, how would you quell the rebellion?
The political left of Mars, much like on sexy Mother Earth, divides itself over differing approaches to achieving shared goals like social justice, equality, and government intervention. The key areas of division include pragmatism versus idealism. Some leftists advocate for working within the system, e.g. reforms and incremental change, while others push for more radical structural changes, e.g. socialism or revolution, or setting off bombs and that. Identity politics versus class politics. Some focus on identity-based issues like race, gender, LGBTQ+ rights, and acceptance for the mutoids and the three-titted, whilst others prioritise economic class struggle, sometimes downplaying identity issues, and thinking primarily of sneaky taxi drivers. Environmentalism. Tensions arise between traditional labour interests, e.g. jobs in resource-heavy industries such as mining whack-ass alien pyramids, and more progressive environmental movements such as maintaining a steady supply of oxygen in order to breathe with. These divisions often create challenges for building unified political movements. Therefore, I propose that Cohaagen insert a centre-left capitalist to break the resolve of, and subsequently expel from Mars, the more hardline leftist rebels. The rebels shall, in essence, defeat themselves by virtue of their inability to agree on anything. So you drive a wedge in to splinter everybody.
You create Keir Starmer.
Yes, essentially. I just couldn't think of a good pun for the name Keir Starmer. Queef Starmer is about the best I can come up with, and that's not particularly funny.
How about Beef Starman?
Yeah, I like it.
What about Keir Marsder? Mars Keister.
Keen mustard.
Keith Mars.
What's he going to do to drive a wedge between the rebellion and, say, your normal psychics and mutants and normal other folk and like tourists and settlers and things like that?
So the hardline rebels, he wants to do the bombings in the plaza and shit like that. He will he'll say, hey, how about we don't do that? How about we aggressively leaflet the area, and then we'll hold a meeting.
Aggressive leaflets.
Yeah.
Put a picture of Kuato on Martian Newsnight where he's wearing a Russian hat.
Yes.
And say that Kuato is a racist because he doesn't like genocide.
Yeah, that's a good one. That'll fool a lot of people. Yeah, I'm buying it so far.
We don't get a sense, do we, of how educated the Martian colonists are? I suppose it's a spread of...
It's weird, isn't it? The fact that, they're clearly humanoid people have been living up there for a while, but things have gone... Probably they've gone from really good to going really bad.
Everything's turned from gold into shit.
I guess they're just kind of portrayed as just working class, broadly working class.
Yeah,
they are. But it's like Venusville's a bit of a slum, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So the main muty guy with the big thing over his eye, that's Hank from Breaking Bad, isn't it?
Dean Norris, yeah.
Didn't recognise him without the scar. Must have had some decent plastic surgery. All right, were there any more questions for this shit of a plot?
I think it works.
It's a bit of a surprise for you to do one that works, that's all. It's caught me off guard. Okay, Super Dude. How do you quell a rebellion?
A mysterious figure stands pensively in the near pitch black of an office in a complex on Mars. Only the dim moonlight of Phobos and Deimos softly shining through the huge window to betray the silhouette of Villainous Cohaagen. But he is not alone. Across the other side of the desk, a small figure piped up. "Oh, this makes me very angry." Not really. I'm not doing Marvin the Martian. Across the other side of the desk, a spark, a flame, and the burning embers of the tip of his cigar briefly illuminate the face of his companion, the unmistakable oaken jaw of Carl Hauser. "So," pipes up Hauser, his thick Martian accent splitting the silence like an axe biting into oak. Wait. I can't keep using oak metaphors just because it's Arnold.
I think it can.
You can.
Double down.
"So," pipes up Hauser, his thick Martian accent splitting the silence like the rich seam of strawberry sauce splits the ice cream sundae. Yeah, that's the one. "The plan is, you wipe my memory and any record that ever existed. Then, we upload the memories and personality of Quaalude." "Quaid," interjects Cohaagen. "Whatever. And then I get to fuck Richter's girlfriend for a couple of months. And you'll need to do some mining work, too. Quaid needs to be a real man. A real man who fucks." Yes. "And here's where it gets complicated. After a set period, you come back to Mars and meet up with Melina again. Hauser could never gain her trust, not fully, but Quaid might. Then you infiltrate the resistance and take it down from the inside. And she'll give me blowjobs, Richter's girlfriend. Whatever you want, old friend. But listen, are you worried it'll get too complicated?" "Not really. I'll steer clear of butt stuff so she knows we're not that serious." "Focus, Hauser. I mean the plan." Hauser's brow ruffles like the bark of a like the fringe of a Viennetta. "Well, I guess if it looks like it's not working, you could just shut down the air in the mutant region, suffocate them. Say it was an accident. Free up the real estate for more Earth expats." "My God. So why don't we just do that now? Forget the whole Quaid thing." "Do I still get to fuck Richter's girlfriend?" With the muties out of the way, hordes of bored blue-collar workers emigrate to Mars and are happy to graft for modest pay, quickly and efficiently draining the planet of its remaining turboman ore and leaving Cohaagen, Hauser, and the planet wealthy beyond their wildest dreams. So they just turn the air on them because fuck it. So essentially suffocate them early.
That's a good point you raise.
It's always more meat for the grinder.
Isn't there? And that's what he tells Richter's girlfriend as well.
Hey!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Wubba-lubba-dub-dub.
Do we know how big the colony on Mars is? Is there a chance that there'll be an uprising?
Because it's one section, isn't it?
Oh, I guess we don't know. I mean, there isn't one, is there, in the film when it happens? So I would say no.
But also, doesn't the oxygen shortage not affect the rebels in the cave?
The rebels in the cave.
So they've got their cave secret layer, haven't they? Their secret base that you go through the bar and you wend your way down. They had oxygen in there, didn't they?
Did they?
Well, yeah, it was, but before, when they first went in, wasn't it? And then that's when they had that little fight, and then they back out, and then they turn off the air, don't they?
So we don't know if there's air in there after the air gets turned off.
Yeah.
Because we don't go back there.
We don't know where it is particularly, do we?
They're on the radio talking to Scarface, and he's like, got no air.
But they're okay.
But they're okay. Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends. I mean, if they just happen to be there, but knowing that, why doesn't Dean Norris just say to everybody, let's go down to the caves, there's air there?
Yeah, another good point.
Maybe it'd give the game away, though. It'd give away the rebellion, wouldn't it? Maybe that's...
Yeah, better for everyone to die than give the game away, I suppose. Yeah.
There's got to be martyrs in every war, hasn't there?
Yeah, and the martyrs in this case would be everybody bar two people.
Yeah.
But at least they would get to live.
Yes.
Not the way martyrs usually work. That would be like if God sent Jesus to Earth and the end result was everyone but Jesus got crucified to death. And then Jesus got left alone on the earth.
Yeah. But then that's technically what's happened since Jesus got crucified.
That is technically what's happened. Yeah.
He got crucified and then went, look, I've died for your sins now. Oh, shit. Oh.
All right. Well, if there are no further questions for Super Dude, Adam, would you care to share your scheme?
So the Hauser Quaid thing has got out of hand. He's killed his handler, Harry. Let's not be sentimental about this. He has to go.
Centaur-mental.
What?
He said centaur-mental. Like a half-horse man who's gone crazy.
Let's not be sentimental about it. He has to go. So when he gets a suitcase off his mate, it's really a bomb and kaboom! Quaid problem solved. Next, to really put an end to this rebellion, Cohaagen has to be more diplomatic. He offers the citizens a bone. He says he has been at the mercy of greedy mining companies and that they have been keeping the profits to themselves at the expense of Martian taxpayers. However, he announces a windfall tax on these greedy buggers and promises to invest in air generation services to increase air supply and ensure no one goes without again. Whilst many Martians approve his windfall tax, Cohaagen increases taxes on bars and specifically houses of disrepute that pepper Venusville. His plan is to clean up Mars, to turn it into a tourist mecca, rather than continue to be the whore-ridden filth hole that it is, even setting up a psychic village. He wants more tours, maybe some new settlements, and an end to this rebellion. He says that the rebellion has made things artificially expensive due to the extra security, loss of shipments of supplies, etc., etc. He urges them to lay down their arms for the greater good and his plans for peace. Now, with his genuine effort to turn things around, people see that he has a point. The rebellion begins to wane in popularity. Who needs them now? Cohaagen is turning the ship around. Once the rebels have lost their secrecy and their numbers dwindle, Cohaagen is back in the driving seat. So in a way, similar gambit to Gaz.
Yeah, I don't understand the idea of killing Quaid early because his plan, he wants Quaid back. That's his plan. He wants Quaid to infiltrate the rebellion.
But in my plan, he sees that he's going to be a pain in the arse, that it's not.
Okay, so he just predicts that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. What about setting up this psychic village? Don't they kind of derail his plans to lie to the populace, basically? That's his whole problem with the rebellion, isn't it? It's the psychics.
Yeah, well, it's the psychics and what have you. But with this plan, he's saying, I'm going to put more money into the services, like the air thing is a big... And then the supply, I can't remember what they're mining from. Is it turbinium or something?
Or it is.
Something like that. It's a dual purpose, isn't it? It's the air plus they got the mines and stuff. So I sort of turned that into a thing to get them the services they want. So while they've got the air now and they're always talking about the air problems and what have you, then that sort of quells all that nonsense. And then really once the air problem solved, and then he's saying they're going to set up new settlements and things like that, it settles everybody down. And then the rebellion loses support. And then all the hookers and stuff are charged, gets rid of all them rabble-rousers in there as well, and gets more, what's the word? Nicer people up onto Mars.
Gets a better class of people.
Gentrifies Mars.
Yeah, and turns it from that horrible, skanky Venusville into somewhere that people would rather be.
But Mo, the dank.
So it solves two problems. He's going to get more, he's going to get richer, and he's going to get rid of all the bother as well.
I just feel like there's nobody wealthy enough to attack. He's the only one who has money.
Well, there isn't at the moment. That's what I mean. They just got like miners and people, like it's like a port town, isn't it? Where people just go, they turn up and once in a while get pissed,
full of filthy sailors,
pour around, and then leave or go back to the mines and stuff like that. And then there's just the scum of the people left there.
Yeah.
But what he's proposing on doing is turning everything into somewhere nicer.
So how were the mutants created? Can you remind me?
I don't remember.
It's the Martian atmosphere, isn't it? Or lack of atmosphere. It's the radiation, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you think a high class of people is going to want to go and live on Mars and freak out?
Yeah, they're setting in new settlements and stuff like that, yeah. With all the extra money and stuff coming in from the windfall tax on the mining companies. They can create whole new sections. And then they'll be getting rid of the older shitty sections.
Or put tape on them. Stop the radiation getting through.
Yeah, a bit of tape. Gaffer
That's good,
tape,
yeah.
preferably. Or silver, or aluminium foil tape.
Yeah.
I've got some in the garage.
Oh, aluminium. Everyone could just wear aluminium hats that reflect radiation.
Yeah. Now you're talking.
Yeah. So there you go.
All right, good.
Or Russell Brand is selling a charm against Wi-Fi. What if they all buy one of them? It's only like $300.
Oh, God, yeah. Have you seen do you see that on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, is that a real thing?
Yeah. The best thing is when he's talking
He's
about
totally
it.
lost it, is he?
Oh, he's just a grifter.
He's just a grifter as fuck. Yeah, he's unreal. He's totally taking the piss. He's advertising it and he's like, oh, look at me. I'm even stronger because I'm wearing it. He's taking the piss out of him and they've paid him to advertise it.
And he's using a Wi-Fi microphone to speak on the advert.
Yeah, fucking unreal, man.
Wow. All right, well, if there are no further questions for Adam, then I will bring us home. Quadra strides into the last resort, her boots clicking against the gritty Martian floor. She approaches the bar, where a manager with a face like a squash asteroid scrutinises her. What makes you think you can work at the wildest bar on Mars? Quadra grins and states, I can think of 4 good reasons, as she waves an open palm across her heaving bongos. The manager's eyes widen. You're hired. Over the next few days, Quadra becomes a fixture at the bar. She serves drinks, spins yarns, makes people wish they had 4 hands, and most importantly, never questions why her anatomy feels more like a Dixon's than a human. After all, her memories insist that this is all perfectly normal. As she works, her prosthetic wampas are hard at work too. The leftmost blimp watches the crowd with the discreet whirring satellite dish, the only giveaway. The second bloop from the right has a different mission. Whenever Quadra hears a secret or a murmur of dissent, the areola pops open and shoots a mic on a telescopic arm, swooping towards whispered rebel plans like an aroused metallic nipple. Unbeknownst to Quadra, Cohaagen sits in his office watching and listening through Quadra's state-of-the-art spy wobblers. With enough intel gathered, Cohaagen orders the troops in to clear up. When the dust settles, Cohaagen and Hauser enter the empty bar. Cohaagen walks over to Quadra. See, he says, turning to Hauser. I told you 5 would have been overkill.
Spy jubblies.
I thought we would all go for a 4-breasted spy. I really thought we'd all have the same plan.
I wasn't feeling particularly humorous this week.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Just want to get ahead of this before it happens. Are you going to tell us later on that yours was, quote, the only plan that would have worked?
Not this week, perhaps.
My first note was just spy tits.
Spy jubblies I've written the name Quadra because I thought, am I missing something there? Then spy jubblies, yeah.
Directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Spy tits 3D.
But the thing is, Quadra, she thinks it's all totally normal.
Sure, but the other people who see the satellite dish and the extended microphone nipple.
Well, she's so confident with it, they just assume it's just part of her mutation.
Right.
Because the thing is, they're all flesh-coloured.
Oh, that does change things, actually. That's the Cronenberg movie we didn't get.
Those schemes were as diabolical as a woman with only 2 boobs. Now it's time to vote for our favourite. As a reminder, we had Gaz's Party Politics, Super Dude's Jolly Genocide, Adam's Martian Levelling Up, and my own Quadra-tit Infiltration. Remember, each vote is worth exactly 1 point for the leaderboard. No more. Come on, guys.
But
certainly
no
less. And let me remind you, you may not vote for yourself. Adam, you moist harlot, who have you voted for?
If I could give this man 3 jubblies this week, I would. So the winner of 3 jubblies in my world is Gaz.
Ooh.
What a tease.
Gaz, who have you voted for?
Well, if I could give this man 4 jubblies, I would. And so the winner of my 4 jubblies is Super Dude.
Huh?
Super Dude. If you could give someone a certain amount of jubblies, who would you be awarding them to?
I'd give 6 jubblies to this person who I think came up with, quote, the only plan that would have worked. It's Gaz.
And I, myself, would give probably about 5 or 6 jubblies, I'd have to say, no more than that. Because I didn't fully understand the plan, but it seemed to be the only one that would have worked. So I voted for Gaz. And I put it in a cloud of question marks because I didn't fully understand what was happening.
Swept the board
Right.
majestically.
Loads of jubblies.
So Gaz, with the jubblies duly awarded, what has that done to the Diabolical leaderboard?
In the lead with 17 points is Gaz.
Ooh, you have just raced ahead.
I know. In second place with 14 points is Adam. In third place with 13, unlucky for some points, is Super Dude.
Ooh.
And bringing up the rear with 12 points is Ben.
Tight down at the bottom.
It is tight, but I really thought 4 tits would really... well, first of all, I thought everyone would do 4 tits. I was waiting. Someone's going to do more tits. But obviously it's didn't create as a deeper impression on you guys as it did on me.
I think if I'd have thought in any way that more tits might help the rebellion or not, or hurt the rebellion, that's the thing, I guess. If we'd had to help the rebellion this week, I might have had tits all over the place.
Well, the series rolls on. Things are hotting up, Peril Pals. So do join us next week, where Adam will be hosting. And Adam, as host, tell us, what movie must we endure?
Well, next week we should be examining one of the greatest TV movies of all time, quote unquote. And that is Steven Spielberg's Duel.
Ooh. Haven't seen that for many a year. The last time I saw it was in Super Dude's living room with you guys.
Yeah. Well, a long time ago.
Well, I watched it on VHS the last time I saw it.
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, that's it for another episode. Thank you for listening. For more film-related hijinks throughout the week, follow us on all the social medias at Diabolical Pod. Join us next time when we'll be dissecting Steven Spielberg road rage documentary, Duel. Until then, you're doing just fine with 2.
Remember how it was with you. You know this song, right? Remember how you pulled me through. You'll remember this bit, I bet. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. I remember
Is that in the film?
Yeah. I remember.
Is it?
It's the song that Arnie sings over the end credits.
What? Arnie sings a song over the end credits?
No. It's a recent dance hit.
That'll be why I don't know it then.
It's a total recall. Da-da-da-da.
It's a total recall.
Set in a dystopian future where memory implants create indistinguishable...
What's that?
Set in a dystopian future where memory implants create an indistinguishable.
That's dystopian and indistinguishable quite close together. It's quite a.
I can do it. I believe
Go on.
myself.
You can. It's very early for you, though.
Set in a dystopian future where memory implants create indistinguishable.
That was the worst one yet. Why is Benny in that drill, waiting in that tunnel? How does he know where they're going?
Taxi driver's code, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, he's got the knowledge in him. He's got the knowledge.
Yeah.
Ah.
Don't go south of the hemisphere this time of night, Gov.
He can go anywhere he wants now, though, can't he, though, with that drill thing?
I thought you meant now that he's a ghost. He flew around. Poor old Benny, we hardly knew you.
Yeah. What did I say I lolled that loads the other day? I can't remember what it was now, and it generally
Good
made
story.
me piss myself.
Just glad you wanted to share it with all the listeners out there.
Live your dream. Live your dream.